some good crowd turnout in that game that India played versus Sri Lanka in a league. And
we are live and it's game time. 1 hour to go for the game to be.
It all boils down to this.
It all boils down to this. All the rain breaks, all the frustrations, all the...
Speak for yourself, Siddharth, with the frustration.
Of course. I mean, see, shorter the game, longer the time. That's how it seems to be in ODIs nowadays. So, that is the current situation when we look at India versus Sri Lanka. Two teams, two of the most successful teams in the history of the Asia Cup.
1 and 2 in fact.
Yeah, India won 6 Asia Cup titles, ODI. Sri Lanka have won 5 ODI Asia Cup titles. Plus 1 you add to both of them, they won the T20 titles as well. So, some injury concerns from both India and Sri Lanka. So, one is Mahesh Tikshana gone.
I mean, it's not even an injury concern. That's a rule out. Done.
And we don't know whether he'll be ready for the World Cup.
Exactly.
Because it's a grade 2 or grade 3 tear.
I think at best he might just join in the middle of the tournament.
Highly unlikely. If it's a 5-6 week injury rule out, then I think you're missing the entire World Cup.
And I think the whole assessment is not done yet, isn't it? There are more scans.
Not done yet. I did a video yesterday. Sri Lanka, Australia and all, they are in this situation, injury. So, we are joined by Sunil Gavaskar also.
Sunil Gavaskar joins us. Nikhil's at ground zero. The chat will continue, guys, here in the studio. But for now, let's quickly listen into Sunny Ji, who's joining us at the moment.
Because if you have a look at what was the Super 4 stage, both these teams finished with 4 points each. And so clearly they were the best teams in the tournament. And the fact that, there was so much talk about, the weather, the rain, etc. We've come to the finals and we've got matches being played just about every time. When you play in an island nation like Sri Lanka, rains are just around the corner. So, for some people to suggest that, the match should have been here and not over there, anywhere there could have been the possibility of rain because that's what happens in a tropical country and an island nation. So I think it's been a great tournament.
Saima, one thing that we've been continuously telling our viewers is that do not take a Sri Lankan team lightly, especially when they're playing at home. Could you explain a bit more on that? Why is it that Sri Lanka becomes so dangerous when playing at home?
I think Sri Lanka is like New Zealand. They always fly under the radar. Because a lot of people look at their team and say, but who are their big players, big name players? They might not have big name players, but they've got a very committed team. And particularly when they play at home, they've got a very, very dedicated following. They'll all come in huge numbers. You'll see the music going on throughout the day. There's a fun atmosphere at the ground, and that is what the Sri Lankans revel in. And so you cannot take them lightly. Look at their bowling. Maybe Tiksana might not be playing today, but their bowling is a very, very competent bowling attack. They have got a top-class batting lineup. Again, no big names, but guys who can make a contribution.
What about the crowd factor, Sanibhai? As I'm reporting live from here at the stadium, it's a complete sellout this game. Not a single seat is going to be empty once the first ball is bowled. And majority of the fans, I'm told about 80 or probably even 90% of the fans, not surprisingly, are going to be backing the home team. So local fans are going to, be coming into this stadium. What about the crowd support and the energy that the Sri Lankan fans bring with them?
Yes, I mean, you see that in India. When India is playing in India and the crowd is backing them, the opposition sometimes can get a bit intimidated. India, of course, is used to maybe much bigger crowds, so maybe they will not get intimidated. But, sometimes you just get that feeling when you're playing and just about everybody in the crowd is against you. Well, what do I have to do? What more do I have to do? I need to be, and that can add a little bit to the pressure. But I think this Indian team is, like I said, used to playing in front of partisan crowds. They're used to it. When they're playing the IPL, for example, a lot of the players are playing for another franchise, so they can face that little bit of hostility. So, yes, I think it'll be more in Sri Lanka's favor as far as crowd support is concerned. But I think the Indians are capable of handling it.
All right, it's going to be a rare scenario nonetheless for the Indian team, because no matter where they play in the world, they always feel like the home team, because more often than not there are more Indian fans than even the home fans in any stadium that they play. But today it's going to be different. Today you'll clearly have more Sri Lankan fans than Indian fans, so a rare sort of a scenario for the Indian players. But as Saibai mentioned, they are such experienced players, know how to play against big crowds. Even if the crowds are hostile, they know how to handle those situations. That's going to be another factor in the game. But Saibai, stay on with us. Let's listen in to the two camps ahead of this final. What did they have to say about strategizing against each other in this Asia Cup final?
Alright, so those are the thoughts of Sunny G. He feels that no matter where you play, especially here where the crowds have been rather loud in the last two matches that we saw at the Premadasa, this Indian team is equipped enough, let's say. There are enough personalities to soak in all those circumstances and hostility, and they probably won't be unnerved. Siddharth, you agree?
I don't know. I mean, see, whereas India faced hostile crowds in the past against them, you look at Australia, half of the population that attend the matches there, it's all from India. New Zealand, the same thing. England, the same thing. South Africa,
You're saying it could be a factor?
I don't think the hostility
Is the problem?
is the problem.
Yeah.
I think it's just the
Velalage.
mental pressures.
Velalage is the problem?
Mental pressures on that final or semi-final day. I mean,
More than Velalage, who potentially scares me today is that leg spinner they're bringing in as a replacement.
Acha, Dushan Hemanta.
Dushan Hemanta. For one simple reason, India don't do well against spinners they haven't played against before.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Velalage.
Velalage, yeah, saw him for the first time. Again,
No, but
gives
it
us-
wasn't the first time Velalage bowled against them. Velalage did bowl against India in that series in India.
Did he?
Of course he did. He played in Kolkata. He did bowl. He didn't bowl that much. He bowled about 4-5 overs. He did bat and he got 42. Remember, to help Sri Lanka get to 215.
Oh.
And it needed KL Rahul's knock in Kolkata to ensure that India won that game.
Yeah.
So Velalage did play. It's just that the fear of the unknown. I mean, for example, you are all thinking that okay, it will be Ajanta Mendes part 2. I don't think so, because Hemant.
We all got those vibes, by the way. Let's be honest.
For when you watch Velalage bowl.
When you saw Velalage take those 4 wickets.
Not with his bowling style,
But
the way
the
he
kind of the way how he
affected
was troubling the
the
Indian
impact.
batsmen.
Yeah, of course. Look at the top 3 wickets that he got. He was involved in all 5 dismissals the other day. The top 5.
Yes. So, but again, see, Mendes had a bit of a mystery about him. Velalage is simple, accurate left arm spin.
Not that simple.
It's like Herath. It's like Herath.
And by the way, Herath had a pretty good record against India.
Actually, no, he struggled. He struggled against them. He had a good record, you may say, against all the other teams. India, he struggled because India knew how to play spin well
Back then,
But-
you mean?
back then. Yeah.
Back then, yeah. But if today we get a spinning strip and a new mystery spinner, that could mean, trouble for India.
Again, I don't think Hemanta's a mystery spinner, but I get your point. He's a mystery to the Indians.
Mystery, yeah.
Because he's just played about 2 matches and all
Exactly.
came in the World Cup qualifiers. The same with Sahan Arachige. Because Arachige also played in the World Cup qualifiers, although looked good with the bat in the Sri Lanka A tours that they had to South Africa. So he's kind of good in that sense. But again, I think India are well equipped with the fact, but they only have a technical frailty now against spin. All spin. They don't have, it's not against only mystery spin like some Mendes or anything.
Doesn't
it's
matter.
a frailty against all spinning components like off spin, leg spin, and left arm spin.
And mystery spin.
Kohli.
And no spin.
Yeah. Kohli in particular, the average of 13.
That would be Surya and ODIs.
No, even Kohli, left arm spin.
13.
He might have gotten the bogey over and against left arm pace. But against left arm spin, he continues to struggle slightly.
We'll find that out in the Australia series.
I mean, and what left arm pace? Who got him out in that first match of the Asia Cup?
Yeah, it was Shaheen. But then he came back very strongly in Colombo.
Yeah, he did.
So that's why. So it's going to be a very, very interesting situation when it comes to India and the ability to tackle spin. Crowds and all, I don't think will be a factor.
Yeah,
I mean, that's.
I mean, this is the team that, after all,
Yep. So we'll cut back to Nikhil at the Ketarama.
Do well in this Asia Cup final, considering in just a few days' time, they'll be embarking on another very important journey, and that is the World Cup. So the win here is going to definitely be giving them a lot of confidence going forward into that all-important World Cup. Now, let me quickly give you some sort of updates from here. The toss is still 20 minutes, but what I'm getting to will come into the 11 if he's fit or not. We know that he's been practicing. He was practicing just a short while ago. I did see him practice in the outside net. I also did see Tilak Verma practice a bit in the outside net. So what we're getting to here, that either shares or Tilak Verma makes it to their 11. Tilak Verma makes it to their 11. There will be interesting questions around Washington Sundar, whether it'll be Washington Sundar, whether Shardul Thakur. Why is it that we're talking about Washington Sundar? All those updates coming up next in this detail.
Yep, so that was Nikhil giving us the assessment on what is going to be, let's say, a very, very intense game. I don't know the margin of victory, because if you have looked at Asia Cup finals between India and Sri Lanka, hardly there has ever been a very close game. The closest game is 25 runs that came. Harshit was at that time trying to do some shadow running.
Some shadow batting, yeah.
Shadow running is the only
We
running
are
we do
just
right
getting
now.
prepared for the matches to come. Remember, we've got a tournament as well to take care of.
Oh yeah.
And see, Harshit is our
Shivam,
KL
our dear
Rahul.
friend, thought that he would put out all my strengths out there, if
And
there
see,
are any.
Harshit is our team's KL Rahul. He needs a lot of time. Wherever he gets the time, he has to be ready for all everything. So you saw Harshit doing his shadow batting, shadow running at that point in time. So don't be surprised, folks.
Well, we were told to be multifaceted, right? So I'm just trying to do everything possible.
Multifaceted across times,
Across
time
formats.
zones, across formats. So,
We were talking about doing it across time zones also now, just to brief while back.
Exactly. So, as I was saying, see, in 1990 and 1995, even in 1986, you look at it, 1988, sorry, India have won comfortably against Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka from 97, 2000, 2004, 2004 and 8, it was comprehensive. 2004 was the only close game where they won by 25 runs.
Yeah.
Apart from that, India won in Dambula, it was by 81 runs. So hardly there has ever been a very close final between India and Sri Lanka.
Yeah, with the exception of maybe 2004.
Just by 25 runs.
And even 2004 comes with the outlier that was an India team that were kind of blowing hot and cold. You would remember?
I mean, they only came to the final.
That, correct me if I'm wrong. 2010, after that, you were looking at only the 2014.
We'll come back to that discussion. Right now, we're being joined by some fans.
Ram Babu.
A special fan
Right behind me, mostly, of course, the Sri Lankan color, but don't forget, you will see the tricolor as well. Ram is one fan who's always there for most India games. As you expected him to be here, he's turned up here. But let me ask the Sri Lankan fan. I love your glares, by the way. But first, what do you think will happen today?
So many colors here, but the match also, then even in night time, so many happen, so many get happen. Upside down today match. Really.
Who's going to win?
Sri Lanka going to win. Sri Lanka going to 22nd, 23rd, belong to Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka win.
Yeah!
Sri Lanka win.
Sri Lanka win.
Sri Lanka home ground, okay. But this time champion Sri Lanka gone.
Yes,
To be-
no, it's-
last time you were champion, this time a champion. और हम लोग ये जीत के लेके जाएंगे कप एशिया का 2023 का चैंपियन इंडिया. अच्छा, come on Sri Lanka, come on India, come on Sri Lanka. Good. Thank you guys. Thank you. Have a good day. अच्छा, एक चीज बताना. ये ज्यादातर तो श्रीलंकन फैन होने वाले हैं. आपके पूरा मतलब तैयारी है ना कि उनको आउटशाउट करना है उनसे ज्यादा.
बिल्कुल बाजी, क्योंकि हम सब पे भारी पड़ेंगे ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. मैं इतनी एनर्जी रखता हूँ, मेरे को पता है कहाँ पे कैसे हैंडल करना है, लेकिन जोश की कमी नहीं रहेगी. इंडिया अच्छा परफॉर्म करे, ब्लास्टिंग परफॉर्म करे, सपोर्ट पूरा मिलेगा, 500% आप सपोर्ट मिलेगा. बस यही कहेंगे, जीतेगा भाई, जीतेगा इंडिया, जीतेगा भारत की जय.
Okay, so okay, so that's something that you often see. I'm going to show you another side. Just bear with me. I'm going to show you another side, which is very rare in international cricket. You don't see it in a lot of places, but you often see it in Sri Lanka. That's called the Patre band. They have a band that comes and plays throughout the duration of the match, and this is the Patre band. So they sing, they dance. That's what they do throughout the game. So this is a sight that you only see in Sri Lanka. You know, the Papre band come in large number, and you will see the fans singing throughout the game. I want to take you across to Sunny Gavaskar. Saiva, you must have experienced this, band atmosphere that you get in Sri Lanka. Does it somewhere remind you of the kind of atmosphere that you get in the West Indies? Islanders rarely know how to have a good time when a cricket game is on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sri Lanka is not far behind at all. The Sri Lankans, the band is very energetic. They are, like you said, they are constantly playing. They know exactly when to stop. When the bowler starts his run up, they are quiet, like in the West Indies. The moment the shot is played and the bowler is walking back to his mark, they start the music again. It's just incredible. And the atmosphere is so much fun. These are lovely people. The Sri Lankans are lovely, lovely people. Whatever the result of the match is, you can be pretty certain that there won't be any animosity at the end of the day's play today.
All right, Saiva, I want to take our viewers across India and then show them the atmosphere there as well. I believe I've got Nitin Srivastava joining us from New Delhi, Ritvik Mondal joining us from Kolkata. Ritvik, I'll start with you. If you can hear me, how's Kolkata gearing up for this Asia Cup final?
Yes, that's going to be a very Sunday today, and this is going to be the road for the World Cup. And as you said, rightly said, Sri Lanka might get the advantage for playing on the home ground, but this is the entire India is going to cheer for the tricolor, for the country, for India, for Team India, of course. And whenever I do see, whenever such big days come, when such big cricket happens in any corner of the world, the city of joy gets united. And today we are currently at a society where we can see there are budding cricketers, there are elderly people, there are citizens of this Kolkata who are cheering for the country. We do know that today's play is going to happen in the ground of Colombo, but the entire Kolkata and the entire country will be cheering for the Team India. What you are expecting today? What is going to happen today?
We are expecting that India will win the Asia Cup. India will then win the World Cup.
Yes, so it's the road to World Cup, of course. Are you excited?
We are super excited. We all are gathered here just to see the India match only.
Have some budding cricketer also. Whom are you going to cheer up for the entire team? Or you're eyeing for Virat Kohli's good play, right?
Yes, he's my favorite player.
Virat Kohli will take the double century. Virat Kohli will take the double century, and Jasprit Bumrah will take the 5 wickets. Yeah.
So, there are many very budding cricketers. Babu, what you are going to क्या उम्मीद है आज किस तरीके से क्रिकेट देखना चाहोगे किसको देखना चाहोगे आज स्क्रीन में
इंडिया को
बस यही काफी है. So you all are ready. I think you all are ready with the drinks and of course the snacks are ready. So it's of course it's just it's sunny Sunday today in Kolkata as well. So how are you gonna cheer for the team?
We are Indian. Our soul is Indian. And our position is Indian. Like we are everywhere. We are on the moon. We are on the sun. We are everywhere. Hip hip hooray!
क्या लग रहा है कि बहुत दिन बाद एक फाइनल मैच जहां पर भारत का मुकाबला श्रीलंका से होने वाला है. संडे भी है, तो तैयारी हो चुकी है ना.
पूरा संडे का मजा ले रहे हैं और इंडिया जीतेगा इंडिया जिंदाबाद.
So this is the I think that was
Okay,
make you understand that yes, the Kolkata, the entire country is gearing up for a wonderful cricket today.
All right, Ritvik, thank you so much for those updates. Doesn't surprise me at all. I know if there is one city in India that's completely cricket crazy, in fact, sport crazy, it is Kolkata. And I can see that, sense that excitement from thousands of kilometers away, even while as I come to you live from Colombo. We'll take a break on our special program at the moment. Don't go anywhere. The toss, the playing 11 update, all coming up on the other side.
Fans
Yeah.
there in Kolkata. We'll in fact just stay with us. We'll get your reactions from Mumbai as well as the national capital as well. But speaking of reactions, we're also waiting the reaction of Harbhajan Singh, who will also be joining us as we build up to this mega finale between India and Sri Lanka. Shane, Gargi, Siddharth continue to be here in the studio. Any surprises, Shane? Your city in many ways, Kolkata, to see those reactions?
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
I think Kolkata fans normally will pick an opinion and stand by it.
Yeah. However outlandish it may be.
Speaking of opinions, there was one gentleman there who predicted a Virat Kohli double hundred and a fifer for Jasprit Bumrah, Siddharth.
See, Jasprit Bumrah fifer looks to be much more realistic.
Why not?
Let's ask the
Why would you
exactly
say that?
Okay.
exactly. You've offended the
When
Kohli fan.
when
already.
was the last time even peak Virat Kohli hit a double century in
But
ODIs?
there has to be a some time.
No,
to
my
break
point
that.
is,
When
I-
was the last time?
On this Sri Lanka wicket, you've hardly gone past 350 how many times?
Exactly. No, I don't think a double hundred
Why
now
not?
would be possible.
How many times?
No, I know, but there
Once.
has to be that one time also, na?
No, which is the country which has produced the least double centuries?
India.
No,
Sri
India actually has
Lanka.
three.
Sri Lanka. Because you cannot get the conditions there. And let's be very honest, if it was the first game at
Maybe.
the Ketarama, that was the best time to get it. Now you're going to play on the same track. It'll be a dead track, it'll be a tired track, maybe not much of spin. I don't think there'll be that much of spin assistance.
But you might just get a low track. So
Achha, would peak Virat Kohli have gotten a double century here? Peak
No,
16,
he
17.
can't. No. Even when peak, he would get
Even if he
150.
opened.
Yeah, 150, 170.
no, if he opened, maybe. But again, that's my point. More often than not, you'll see double centurions as being openers.
Openers, exactly.
That's because they get that much time in the pitch. Unless one of your openers falls really early and then he has an innings for ages. Only way it's happening.
Gale,
Guptill,
Rohit, Shikhar Dhawan.
Yeah,
But that was a
Guptill
list.
was last World Cup, right?
2015.
15.
Yeah.
And Gale as well.
Yeah,
Gale
Gale as well. 250.
Otherwise, see who are the other double centurions. Look at Indian double centurions. Sachin
Rohit.
from opening, Rohit,
Sehwag.
Ishan Kishan, Sehwag, Shubman Gill.
Although Ishan wasn't in
Opened.
one drop.
No, he was on opener in that
opening.
match.
He was over Sri Lanka, na? Yeah.
No,
he was
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
Chattogram, he got that.
Yeah.
He was an opener.
So Virat at number 3, number 3, maybe he can get a 150, 170 at max, peak at this time. But looking at the pitch, looking at the way how it is, even if you get overall 250, 260 team total, that is a match winning one.
I know.
So, see, Kolkata, no offense to them, but they have great opinions. But sometimes those opinions are outlandish.
It's
Yeah, but they'll
okay.
stick with it.
They'll
That's
stick
the
with
point.
it. Yeah, they'll stick with it.
That's why when he asked me, "Are you surprised?" I said, "No."
Exactly.
They will stick with their opinion.
I mean, see, they have the best opinions, but they also drag the entire team down also with their behaviors. It's not. Oh, now it's improved, but 1996 was not in good taste at all.
Yeah, you got a semi-final pretty much.
Yeah,
worse.
1999 also was not in good taste at all. 2005 in particular was absolutely not in good taste. We are all talking about, oh, why do you want to support any other team apart from India? 2005, entire Eden Gardens supported South Africa because of one individual and the ongoing backroom drama that was going on at that time. Imagine when South Africa took wickets, they cheered and there was 80,000. And when India
What
scored,
year?
2005. When
That was at the backdrop of the Ganguly fallout.
Greg Chappell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Kolkata, they are passionate about sports and passionate about everything, but I'm sorry, folks.
Passionate about the food as well.
That is a different thing altogether. But as far as behavior is concerned, they have improved now. But 90s when growing up wasn't good
96
at all.
in particular,
No,
major,
even
major.
Prior to that, I mean, there used to be so many riots in Kolkata because tickets were being sold at black market rates. So much black marketing of tickets happened in the 90s.
Yeah.
And also 69, the Australian team, the West Indies team, the 69 and 74 series, they were targeted. In fact, some misguided people at that time, they absolutely surrounded the Australian hotel room in 1969 because of a rumor that one of the players had was part of the Vietnam War. It was absolutely baseless, but then they stuck to that rumor. So that's why I have had issues with Kolkata and their fan behavior ever since 1969. It's only improved now in 2010.
He wasn't even born then, by the way.
But history is proof. History is proof of that. Okay. And in that sense, yeah, see, this is a great game for Virat Kohli to do well. Because I felt he shouldn't have been rested for the Bangladesh game. There was one game where you could iron out your anomalies against spin. It was the game against Bangladesh.
And even, I'll leave that aside, rhythm. Why do you want to break a batsman's rhythm?
And why do you want to break a bowler's rhythm?
And that to your match-winning bowler.
Exactly, yeah.
Kuldeep.
Yeah. I'm not in
I
favor
think
of...
both Kohli and again, but the whole point being, and I think Rohit was extremely honest in terms of saying why he made those 5 changes. The answer was game time. They wanted a few answers, they got some.
Yep.
Some that we knew, some that we didn't know.
Yes.
So yeah, they possibly got those answers as well. But let's just hope, fingers crossed, that Kuldeep's rhythm isn't broken because of this unneeded break.
I know. That's a big letdown. Because see, batsman I can understand. Virat Kohli has hardly played about 3 ODIs in 6 months. Why do you wanted to rest him?
Exactly. And even before the Asia Cup, he hadn't played any ODI whatsoever.
He played one in which he didn't bat.
He didn't bat.
West Indies.
Exactly.
we thought he'd come and bat. It was Rohit Sharma who comes in to bat at number 7.
Exactly.
Virat Kohli watches the captain walk out at number 7, score the winning run, but Virat Kohli still in the dugout.
We are just 2 minutes away from the toss that's going to happen at the Khettarama. And for people asking, why do I keep saying Khettarama? That is the original name of the stadium.
In fact, now one of the ends is named that, the Khettarama end.
Because at one end there is the suburb called Khettarama. That is why. The other end, which is called Maligawate, and that is a suburb called Maligawate. That's why. But the stadium is called Ranil Premadasa after the former Sri Lankan Prime Minister who was assassinated in 1993. So that is why it's now been in tribute to him. It's called the R. Premadasa. But ask the local or a tuk-tuk driver, can you take us to Premadasa? What? No. Khettarama. I said, Khettarama. Sorry, yes. They like it to be called by the original name that was there. So that's the situation. And do you think, okay, before the toss, any chance for Shreyas Iyer today?
No.
I'll be surprised if it happens.
I'm at outs too.
Yep. So if 1%, Shreyas Iyer comes in, Ishan out?
Yeah.
That's what happens, yeah.
Also, guys,
left field, any Washington Sundaram.
It's just about toss time. I got to leave, as you guys know.
Yeah.
But in case I'm not able to join, I'm cheering for an India win.
Obviously.
And
Yep.
if we are to bat first, I'm looking at India posting about a 265.
We are tossing it back to Colombo now. A lot of updates coming up from there.
To the World Cup. It is the Asia Cup final. We're coming to you live from Ground Zero, live from the Premadasa Stadium. And in just moments from now, we are going to be having the all-important toss. The 2 captains will be out very shortly. And stick around on India Today. We'll tell you the Indian playing 11, if there are any changes or not. In fact, the coin is about to go up. But before we give you the update about the toss, Harbhajan Singh joins us live on the program. Bhajupa, are you expecting any changes in the Indian 11 for this game?
Well, I think the only change I would like to see is Akshar Patel playing instead of Shardul Thakur. So that means India playing with 2 seamers and 3 proper spinners. And plus Hardik Pandya to bowl 5-6 overs if required. So that is the only change I would like to see, because on such wickets where spinners are getting more wickets and spinners are coming more in the game, and of course Akshar have also batted well for Team India. So that's the only change I would like to see in the team.
That change might still be possible. We'll get to know about the pitch very shortly. But what I'm getting to hear is that Sri Lanka have won the toss. Whether they've decided to bat or bowl, we'll let you know very shortly. But I can confirm that Sri Lanka have won the toss. We're just awaiting more details as to what is it that they have decided. And now we're confirming it that Sri Lanka are winning the toss and have decided to bat first. Now that makes things very, very interesting. I'll take that question to Harbhajan, who's live with us. Bajupa, one thing that I noticed in this entire tournament, there have been 6 games that have been played in the Asia Cup so far, and 5 games have been won by team batting first. So clearly, batting first seems to be the way to go here. In that sense, Sri Lanka has started off on a better foot than India, winning the toss and batting first.
Well, winning the toss and batting first is definitely something very important in such conditions, very hot and humid in Colombo, and you don't want your 11 players to go out there in the park, field first. And of course, these pitches are on the slower sort of side. We have seen, teams scoring 250, 260, 270 are the winning total. You don't require 300 odd runs here. So yes, winning the toss was important, and we'll have to wait and watch. How much Sri Lanka will be able to put up on the board. If they able to score 270 plus, then they will be in the game. But anything below that, I think with the kind of Team India, batting in this tournament, I think they'll be able to chase. So yes, they have won the toss. Let's see how many runs they will put it on the board. But yes, it's a great kind of a toss to win. Had India won the toss, they would have also liked to bat on this wicket.
Harbhajan, I wanted you to explain to our viewers what really happens here at Premadasa when it comes to a spin-friendly track, because we know that the tracks here assist the spinners. We've seen it in the game so far. But there's a difference. When India-Sri Lanka played on a day where it did not rain at all, there was no rain interruption, the ball was turning a lot. The degree of turn was very high. On certain other games, on those similar sort of conditions, when there was a stop-start, when there was a wet outfield, when it was getting a bit of rain here, you saw certain games the ball was turning a lot, but after rain interruptions, the degree of turn would reduce. Could you explain a bit more about that? Because today also it's likely to rain, and then viewers would want to know whether it's going to spin a lot like we saw in India, Sri Lanka, or because of the rain, the spin level comes down a bit. Can you explain a bit about that?
Well, I think this will probably be the best wicket in the tournament because they have got some time to prepare this wicket, and there have been games every day on this ground, and they're playing on a similar sort of pitches, and India and Sri Lanka, they played on that wicket where it's fun the most because simply 2 reasons could be they didn't get the time to prepare the wicket properly, and of course. No rain means obviously with the dry, hot, humid conditions you will see the ball spinning more because simply whatever water was, it just came out, and it was a proper dry sort of pitch, and more drier pitch you'll see more spin. Simple as that. If the rain interrupt today, this pitch will continue to get slight sort of water through the rain, so obviously the ball doesn't spin as much as we have seen in that game. But I don't see overall ball will spin as much as it did the other day because this particular wicket looks good, and of course whoever will look to score runs 260, 275, they will give themselves a chance. It's going to come to that point where the pitch will start playing a little slower than the first inning, but of course it won't change in drastically, but it'll definitely get some sort of spin for the bowlers out there.
Okay, Harbhajan, I can confirm that whatever you wished for has come true because before the team was announced, we had asked Harbhajan as to what is that one change he would like to see in the Indian team, and he had wanted 3 spinners to be playing, so no place for Shardul Thakur. He wanted 3 spinners to be playing in India's 11, and that's exactly what we're getting to here because Washington Sundar, we can confirm, has made it to the India 11. Is that also, 2 reasons behind that, Harbhajan? One, because of course we get the spin-friendly track here, and the second, there are a lot of left-handers in the Sri Lankan batting lineup. We saw in that game versus Pakistan, Iftikhar, who is your part-time spinner, was very, very potent on a given day. All these things have gone into ensuring that Washington Sundar who just landed about 24 hours ago in Colombo, makes it to India's 11?
Well, of course, that is something unexpected. To be honest, I wasn't really thinking on those terms whether Washington will be able to play the game. Yes, they called him, and I didn't know if he was gonna get the chance to play. Of course, having said that, in your question itself, that they have too many left-handers, and you wanted to have another variation in your bowling lineup, and that's probably one of the reasons Washington Sundar have flown over there to play this final, and that shows the importance of winning the final. How desperate is India to win this final. And of course, having Washington Sundar will add some variation into the bowling lineup, and I do hope that he comes good. We spoke about when India picked the team for the World Cup. What will happen if they have the Sri Lanka playing in the semi-final against them? Supposedly that happened. What will they do then again? Will they still call Washington Sundar to come over and play? I think in this tournament they have done that, but in that tournament they'll have to probably go with Akshar Patel only, and somehow they need to learn how to bowl against the left-handers. I'm being an off-spinner. I played with against all the right-handers, and you get to learn. You adjust your line length and spin, and yes, today Team India looks good with the off-spinner included, but going forward, whether that will be the possibility or not, we'll see that. But yes, good to see Washington Sundar playing the game because there are too many left-handers.
All right, Harbhajan Singh, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us on India Today. Of course, Harbhajan will now be on our sister channel, AajTak, but we'll continue our programming. Sunny Gavaskar will be joining us very soon, and we'll get his thoughts on India's playing 11. Interesting point made there by Harbhajan, and I think we'll discuss that further, where he says that in this tournament, you could fly in Washington Sundar and play an off-spinner. What do you do at the World Cup? You've not picked an off-spinner. Maybe food for thought for the Indian team. Maybe after today's performance, they may be tempted to make a few changes even to their World Cup squad. We'll find out as this Asia Cup final unfolds. For a moment, let's take you across to my colleague Nitin Srivastava, who joins us from New Delhi with lots of fans getting up for this final. Over to you, Nitin.
Thank you, Nikhil. As you can see, each and every fan here in Delhi is very excited for this final matchup. India versus Sri Lanka, and they know that this is the road to the build-up of World Cup, which is very important tournament for India. And today, each and everyone is cheering for India, saying "Jeetega bhai, jeetega, India jeetega," wishing them luck, saying that expecting India is going to lift the trophy today. And let's talk to him. I'm joined by Ishan Kishan's coach. He's Mr. Majumdar. Sir, it's a very important match today of India and Sri Lanka. How do you look at this match, especially keeping in mind the changes in the squad?
Yeah, this is such an important match in the final between that India and Sri Lanka. I hope that India is playing throughout that all the matches. I hope this innings is very vital for Team India before the World Cup. Only for this final and the rest of, and against that Australia is coming, the 3 matches. Only the 3-4 matches is remaining there. I hope today that India squad and Rohit, Virat, Ishan, KL Rahul and all the bowlers like Bumrah, Siraj and Shardul Thakur. And we have the 2 spinners like Kuldeep and Jadeja. These are the most vital, the key players. I hope that Indian openers like Rohit and Shubman, they both have played well. And I hope that our middle orders like KL, Ishan Kishan and Virat Kohli, they have to be performed well.
Definitely. And let's listen in from some budding cricketers as well. आपको क्या लगता है आज वैसे तो इंडिया बॉलिंग कर रही है लेकिन अभी तक हमने जिस तरह की परफॉर्मेंस दी है स्पेशली श्रीलंका का अगर हम पिछला मुकाबला देखें टफ मुकाबला होने वाला है
जी बिल्कुल टफ मुकाबला होने वाला है क्योंकि श्रीलंका के बॉलर्स भी अच्छी बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं इस टूर्नामेंट में इसकी बदौलत वो आज फाइनल भी खेल रहे हैं बट हमारा बैटिंग लाइनअप भी बहुत अच्छा है हमारे टॉप ऑर्डर रन स्कोर कर रहे हैं हमारा मिडिल ऑर्डर स्कोर कर रहा है रन केएल राहुल ने आने के बाद हमारा मिडिल ऑर्डर 4 नंबर और थोड़ा सेटल हो गया तो हम कोशिश करेंगे हमारी उम्मीद पूरी रहेगी कि आज इंडिया टीम जीते और हमें चीयर करने का एक मौका मिले क्योंकि हम काफी टाइम से हम कोई मल्टी नेशनल टूर्नामेंट नहीं जीते हैं लास्ट टाइम हमने 2018 में ही एशिया कप जीता था तो हम सब उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि आज भारत की टीम एशिया कप जीते और हमें एंजॉय करने का, हमें चीयर करने का एक मौका मिले। और ऑल द बेस्ट टीम इंडिया एंड आवर कैप्टन ईशान, आवर कैप्टन रोहित शर्मा।
Of course, ma'am. Would you like to add anything? Would you want to?
We want India to win. They are performing excellently. Is it Rohit or Ishan or Virat Kohli? We all know 110%. Today, India will win and win.
As you can see, Nikhil, everybody wants the only thing, which is the win of Indian side. Everybody wishing luck to the Indian side and expecting that tonight India is going to lift the trophy. Nikhil.
Okay, Nitin, thank you so much for those updates. Nitin Srivastav joining us live from New Delhi. Sunny Gavaskar is now live with us. Sunny bhai, before I throw that first question to you, I'm just running our viewers through the 11 that the Indian team has picked. It's Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill as your openers. You've got Virat Kohli at number 3, KL Rahul at 4, Ishan Kishan at 5, Hardik Pandya at 6, Jadeja at 7, Kuldeep Yadav is 8. Then you've got Washington Sundar 9, and the 2 fast bowlers that India has gone in are Mohammad Siraj as well as Jasprit Bumrah. So the team on expected line, there was that one change that they had to think about, whether to play Shardul as the bowling all-rounder or Washington Sundar as the bowling all-rounder. India have gone with Washington Sundar. Saima, that's my question to you. It's just been about 24 hours since he's landed in Colombo. Now gets into the 11 to play the final of the Asia Cup, but somewhere back of his mind, he must also be thinking a good performance here. Who knows, I might just sneak it into the World Cup squad as well, since India can make as many changes till the 27th of this month. So a crucial game coming up for Washington Sundar.
Yes, indeed. And you've got to say that, the poor chap has not had the best of luck. He's been having a few injuries since his sterling performance in Australia, and then when England was in India 2 years ago. After that, he's had a run of injuries, and hopefully the luck will have changed for him with this particular recall to the Indian team. I know in different circumstances, but I think this is a great opportunity for him. He's a left-hand bat, he's an outstanding fielder, and he can bowl his overs tightly. So I think, yes, I do believe that, he performs well in this game today. He will knock on the selection committee's door to include him, because India does not have an off-spinner in their World Cup squad. Maybe he comes in and he can make a difference.
Yeah, that's very interesting. As Sunny Bhai also mentions, India does not have an off-spinner in their World Cup squad. We had Harbhajan Singh, an off-spinner himself, short while ago on India Today. He said, okay, for this game, you saw a lot of left-handers in the Sri Lankan batting lineup. So you flew in a Washington Sundar to play today. But what do you do in the World Cup? In case you're playing Sri Lanka in the semi-final or a team with a lot of left-handers in the semi-final, how are you going to get in an off-spinner here? So India must think about having an off-spinner in the World Cup squad. Those were Harbhajan Singh's words, something that he said a short while ago. But the fact that, Saima, there was a choice to be made. Either you go with Shardul, who has been picking up a lot of wicket as the bowling all-rounder, or go with Washington Sundar. India has gone with the latter. What does that also tell you about the pitch and the conditions on offer today?
Yes, it tells you that this pitch will help the spinners a lot more. And that's understandable, but because when you look at the Sri Lankan bowling attack, their spinners are the ones who have been taking wickets. They are the ones who have been troubling the batters. There's Velalage, there's Thiksana, Patirana, yes, of course, is there. But they've got a good bowling lineup, good spinners. So it's understandable that India has also gone in for an extra spinner rather than Shardul Thakur.
Okay, so those are the changes that India has made in this particular game. The other thing, Saibhai, I was just looking at the data. We've had 6 games in Colombo so far at the Asia Cup. 5 have been won by team that batted first. Today, Sri Lanka have won the toss, decided to bat first. Very good toss to win, you'd say.
Yes, in the finals and in any knockout game, having runs on the board is always a big plus, unless you've got a very paltry total. But I do believe that if India, with the kind of batting depth that it gets now with Washington Sundar also in the team, means that, India will not really be seriously challenged unless Sri Lanka score 250 plus. Anything less than that, about 225, I think India should be able to chase down without too much of a problem.
Okay, so it is going to be that crucial. We've seen it. Anything over 250, as Saiba is also pointing out, here at the Premadasa Stadium. It gets very tough also because remember, they've played 6 games in the last 9 days here, so the pitches are tiring. That will make stroke making also very tough in these conditions. And Sri Lanka know exactly how to play in conditions that are on offer here at the Premadasa Stadium. Saiba is going to be with us, but let's quickly take a look at some crucial player from the Indian camp that could be the game changers in this final of the Asia Cup.
Jasprit Bumrah.
Okay, so as I said before, we cut to Colombo. Washington Sundar in, everybody were tempted to say no, but he's in.
No, I said he will be in if they find that it's a spinning pitch. I did say so.
And honestly, it all depends on, I think, more than what you're saying, Shane. I think it has to do with Akshar Patel's injury because, he's been, well, that's funny. Because, the World Cup is right around the corner and we're seeing a lot of players, even apart from the Indian camp, we're seeing a lot of players being rested as a precautionary measure because you don't want your best 11 to get injured like right before the World Cup. So I think that's the problem because even if Akshar doesn't have a very sort of serious injury, but you need to do everything to kind of prevent you from getting there.
I will say this, I'm glad they brought in Washington. I had been campaigning for him for ages. The very simple reason that he gives you 2 advantages. One, left-hand batter. Second, off-spinner. You need one off-spinner. And this doesn't mean that I've come around for off-spinners in ODI cricket. I still think they perform at best a secondary function. But they give you 2 advantages. One, on spinning tracks, they give you variety.
Yep.
2, they'll often work best against left-handers.
Okay, so who are the 2 left-handers in the Sri Lanka team? One is Kusal Perera.
Exactly, and a very key batter at that.
Key batter. The other is Dunith Vellalage. Vellalage, and if you look at Kusal Perera and the rest of the others are right-handers. See, Sundar is a power play bowler.
Yeah, he'll bowl in the power play, contain and maybe give you a couple here or there in the middle overs. That's it.
Yes, so that is why he comes in at 8. If he bats well, that's the thing. Because we were all caught up in that confusion. Oh, we need a bowler like we need a bowler like Shardul, but a batter like Akshar.
No, but Washington is in essence also a container. He's not someone who will get you plenty of wickets.
He won't get you wickets. That's the problem. But again, power play, maybe he can strike. He gets you on 1 wicket in the power play.
Or even the other advantage with him is because he's so good at bowling defensively in the power play. He can drive the run flow.
Yes.
That is the other advantage for him. Very unique proposition as a spinner who can bowl effectively with the field up.
Is Charit Aslanka also a left-hander?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Aslanka also.
I was thinking the same.
Nagarjun Devata, you're right. It is Charit Aslanka. 3 left-handers are there.
And to think about the fact that Washington Sundar is coming in an off-spinner and these 3 players, Kusal Perera, Charit Aslanka and Dunith Vellalage have been making all the difference for Sri Lanka.
They have
so
been actually.
If Washi gets,
Even Kusal to a certain extent, it was just his first game that he played. In that.
Yeah, but we know Kusal has that ability, that match game-changing ability. Yeah. He doesn't show it enough, but he has it.
Yeah, I mean, who can forget that?
He doesn't. He's very inconsistent.
I mean, who can forget that knock that he played at Durban, 153 when South Africa, they had to defend 300, they lost by 1.
He's basically Sri Lanka's Fakhar Zaman.
Yeah.
He'll show you enough that you're like, there is a good player there. Consistency evades him.
Exactly.
Yeah, consistency evades him.
Exactly. So the problem that we are looking at is, okay, now I think we have to cut back to Colombo.
Before we have one final discussion.
Yes.
You, Saibai, how does India deal with the Vellalage threat today?
Well, firstly, by using their feet as much as possible, getting down to the pitch of the ball, not allowing it to turn. But more than that, I think after the wickets that he took in the Super 4 game, the batting group would have sat down and dissected his bowling. So I don't think he will be quite the same, danger that he was in the previous game. This is a very experienced batting group. You can maybe get them out once, but to get them out another time, he'll have to bowl really superbly well.
Oh, that's a very valid point that Saibai makes because that's exactly what K. Rahul said after the last game. This is the first time we are facing him. Next time we'll come better prepared. So it's going to be a test of Vellalage as well, not just the Indian batters when the two come head to head. But Sunny Gavaskar, thank you so much for taking our time speaking to us. Here's a reminder that Mr. Gavaskar will be back during the mid-innings. We'll be live on India Today analyzing how Sri Lanka have batted. So join us at that time. But before I wrap up, here's an update. It had been all bright and sunny throughout the day But just as I wrap up, I see clouds building up, the wind picking up. I hope the rain stays away. But we're just moments away from the first ball being bowled. Hopefully that can come on time and the rain can stay away for the moment. That's all that we have on this special broadcast that was coming to you live from Colombo. We'll be live in mid-innings and also at the end of the game. So don't forget to tune in to India Today then. For the moment, Nikhil Nas signing off. Bye-bye.
Yep.
And that's bad news, by the way.
If
that
the clouds are building
Ah, no.
Please not
Not
again.
again.
I
Not
will.
again.
Not, I cannot stand another reserve day final. Please.
Yeah, we all can't. We all can't. So here comes
Harshit.
Mohit.
Yeah, here comes the pain.
You come at a time when the rain absolutely might come down anytime, isn't it? Nikhil had said crowds are pelting down at this point. So just 1 second, we will
Sit down, it's okay.
Yeah, we'll make those arrangements soon, Harshit. So the problem is, people are asking good toss to win for Sri Lanka. If I have to look at
Absolutely.
if you look at your 21st century, when you look at the Asia Cup, teams have defended well. Sri Lanka won in 2004, they defended. They won by 25 runs. 2008, they defended, won by 100 runs. Sri Lanka won it in Sri Lanka lost it in 2010, India won by 81 runs. So, in that way, it is a very problematic situation. It's a good toss to win. It's a very good toss to win at this point in time. And yeah, I mean, I even agree with your Dhanush, one comment that you had said, because Rahul Dravid, I mean, who would have ever thought Rahul Dravid not winning the Asia Cup at this point? Because he didn't win it as a player. I mean, he had chances in 2000, 2004, 2008. He didn't win. And as a player, he couldn't feature in 2010 also. So that's the situation with Rahul Dravid. Yes, Dhanush, you are right. And Vasudev, absolutely a good toss win. Jay, oops, these handles are spot on with Kusal Perera, although I wish that was not the case.
Yeah, I mean, because again, when he does show you that, the full range of his batting, is a joy to watch. The problem is just that he doesn't show it often.
He doesn't show it often. That is the problem. So, see, we were expecting a stop-start day, but even on the day between India and Bangladesh, is it raining? Not yet. For the moment, it is. Oh, the covers are on.
No, I don't take every comment.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No. Let's just wait.
There
Let's
is
just wait at this point.
Another bad news, by the way.
Yeah.
The bails are broken.
The bails haven't broken.
But then that's been the case for a while.
Is there any superstition behind this?
No.
Is there any cricket superstition this shouldn't break or
No, nothing of that kind. I don't know about the superstition part.
Well, the bails getting dislodged are always a bad omen for a batter. That's all I know.
Sri Lanka is playing for bails should be broken.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
So 2000, are we going to see a repeat of 2004? Because similar kind of a pitch, slow, low deck. It was Sri Lanka that managed to put on a great show and they won the title. And in 2008 on a pretty flat but skiddy deck, Sri Lanka again put on a show. And yeah, last 5 matches actually, why Sri Lanka will face a bigger task in India, because unlike Pakistan, they finally got over the wood in the previous game. But India, 11 games, 9 matches they have lost to India. So it's not a good sign if you're a Sri Lankan fan, because they have been really pummeled on all fronts, be it the bowling, be it the batting by India. So that's the situation, and some tense faces at the Ketarama at this point. Why is it? Because
Please don't tell me there's actually rain there.
no.
Nikhil, I think there are clouds building up.
Yeah, clouds building up is one thing, but actual rain is a different matter, no?
Yeah.
Although,
The players haven't come out yet.
exactly, that's the thing.
Yeah, the players haven't come out, because see, normally at this time they'll come out because they would want to sing the
National anthems, correct.
Exactly. And it looks very dark, by the way. I don't know if that's just the TV or what, but it looks very dark.
It does.
No, it's not a good sign. Maybe.
It is raining. I think it is raining.
No, let's not declare that yet till we get a definitive visual. I think we'll have Nikhil join us again any minute, so we can get an update from the ground as well.
I think it's better if the rain, gets done with its business before the toss.
Yeah. But remember, reserve day rule, there is not going to be a repeat of the toss.
Yeah.
That's it. Sri Lanka have opted to bat. If you get no more rain tomorrow, it will start from this particular.
Well,
Exactly.
the last time around you had a repeat of the toss with these two teams involved. It worked out well for India.
It worked out well for India, yeah. There was confusion at the toss.
Yes.
2011 World Cup final.
2011
Yes.
World Cup final.
Yes. That's the World Cup which broke 28 years of heartbreak for Sri Lanka or India. They won it after 28 years, the World Cup.
Broke the heart.
Broke the heartbreak. No, the heartbreak ended.
It breaks the heartbreak.
Breaks the heart.
Breaks the heartbreak. It ended. And
Doesn't
since then,
heal the heartbreak, breaks the heartbreak.
now because you are now in the midst of yet another 10-year pain.
A decade of pain.
A decade of pain. A decade of pain. Ever since June 2013,
Yeah.
it's continued on. So you came close 2014 final. You lost.
You know, I think we should have stopped right there. Coming close and.
Yeah.
let's not get there.
So we are joined by Nikhil from the Ketarama. Nikhil, is it raining? First update.
It is raining. It is raining. It started to drizzle. That's the first bit of breaking news.
Yeah.
It has started to drizzle. And also, the people are partying. I don't know if you can hear the band, the Papale band behind me. But it's singing, dancing, but the drizzle has also come. Can you hear me properly? See me properly?
Yeah, all good.
Oh, so almost 70% of the ground is covered.
Oh dear Lord.
And from the horizon, Nikhil, can you see even more dark clouds coming? Or no, it's just a passing shower, hopefully. Nikhil, can you hear us? No, he can't. He's stuck. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe I just hope that it is just a passing shower. It's not a major.
It doesn't look particularly dark over there.
It doesn't. Nikhil, can you hear us?
And if it were to be pelting down, let's say, you know, you would have seen a lot more umbrellas, but fans there clearly enjoying themselves at the moment in the crowds. We'll try getting Nikhil back. I think there's something wrong with his audio at the moment.
I mean, to be fair, this time of the day when you're at a stadium, there will always be some degree of network issues, goes without saying.
I think Nikhil can't hear us, because it's frozen, the visual. Although there are dark clouds.
He either can't hear us or we're all John Cena because he can't see us.
He can't see us. He can never see us. That's the problem. So, no, there is some
There's some
problem.
new issue where he can't always also see us also.
Yeah, he
something.
can't see us also. So, just the toss has happened and we have got the rain at this point. So, it's a drizzle. There is some clouds building up towards the horizon, but I don't think it's going to be a... But it doesn't look good actually. For this particular moment, for 1 hour, I think doesn't look good. Although remember, the grace period is there, 1.5 hours.
The grace period is probably the one thing that has also driven me up the walls during this tournament.
I mean, for Pakistan,
India, Pakistan.
It was a very short grace period.
Yeah, it was a regular grace period, let's say.
For
Now,
Pakistan, India, it had to be 10:36 p.m. For Sri Lanka, Pakistan,
9.
2. 1.5 hours. Excellent. So, yes, unfortunately, the covers are on at the Ketarama, 70 to 80%. And Nikhil, can you hear us now? We lost you in the middle. No.
Still seems to be some issues there, clearly.
I can hear you. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, perfectly now.
Perfect now, yeah. Clouds building up over the horizon, Nikhil, like you'd always say that.
So, yeah, it's raining now, drizzling. I can feel the drizzle. Now. Yeah.
Okay, we seem to be having...
Yeah, we're again facing some sort of an issue in terms of getting Nikhil across to you guys. But anyhow, from whatever little we could understand, because there was an audio issue, there does seem to be some build-up as far as clouds are concerned, and it doesn't particularly look good, given that you're looking at the final of the ASIA Cup.
Still no.
Still a problem. But yeah, that's bad news.
Why
Do
now?
we lose any time at this point?
You know, the grace period will be about...
Oh, okay.
Play is delayed. See,
Rain has picked up a bit now.
1.5 hours. You got a 1.5 hour grace period. You won't start losing. Yeah. So, for example, maybe in the final you'll lose every 6 minutes. You may lose an over.
But there doesn't seem to be that kind of rain.
Maybe a steady.
Give it time.
Of rain at this point. It's picked up now. It's steady. See, the problem with this kind of rain is you don't know when it will let up at this point. So
Yeah.
You know, so interestingly,
Get your chai pakoras ready.
No
It's
chance.
not raining here.
No, but still.
I mean, to be fair, it has been pretty rainy in around the NCR.
Yesterday was awesome.
Yes.
That was the ideal kind of weather that you're talking about. Yesterday, not today.
Chai bread pakoda.
Yes.
Not
But
bread pakoda.
you know, since we are talking about rains and whatnot, interesting bit happened. You know, just about an hour back, Shane walked in. I was working on the system, and he saw me type something. That was for the TV show.
Ah.
Like, let's just hope it's not a 2-day affair once again.
So he jinxed it this time. Unlike you,
He was typing what happens if rain affects game. So it wasn't me. He typed it.
ultimate jinxer he is. I'm telling you.
I just had to put the information out.
You had to
That was
put-
all, but
Yep.
Shane called it. That's the difference. Shane
Yep.
called it.
So remember, it's a finals day. You will have a reserve day, and all the rules that are there for India Pakistan, same rules for the final. Same rules.
But
Reserve
yeah,
day.
breaking news, guys. If you guys are joining us right now, toss has been delayed. In case you thought we're going to have play out.
The
Toss
start.
has happened. The start is delayed.
Huh.
Beg your pardon. The start is delayed. We're 2 minutes past the start time for the final of the Asia Cup, but it's delayed because it is drizzling at the moment in Colombo. That's what we heard from Nikhil. He said he did in fact state that you're looking at some clouds also building up, and
Now the
in fact,
entire ground is
whole
covered.
ground is covered.
Oh, no.
not just 70-80% of the ground, but the entire turf has now been covered. So there's a complete.
So are they anticipating more rain coming the way? Maybe.
Or
Because
maybe just precaution.
that is also there, but then you don't cover the whole ground. Because remember, even
Yeah.
in previous drizzles, they would cover about 70% of the outfield.
That's
But
true.
then after
Now
that,
see, look at the amount of breeze.
there
It
is a
is-
breeze there, so it means the rain will pick up then.
Ominous.
Yeah.
Ominous signs indeed.
Yeah, wow.
And
This
see
is a-
again, once again, we have met with that familiar, irritating
Blue
sight of blue
tarpaulin
tar.
cover.
It was, by the way, guys, just to remind you, last Sunday only that we were talking about similar conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And today it was predicting about 70 to 80% of rain. About 3 days back, when I had checked the initial weather there, it was showing no signs of any rain interruptions. But suddenly in the last 1-2 days, the weather has
And this is happening on a day when the rain prediction wasn't that much. As far as the reserve day is concerned, folks, there is a bigger rain prediction.
Yes.
You're looking at rains possibly playing spoilsport had play gotten into the reserve day.
So they had actually enforced one more layer of covers.
So 2 layers.
It was just overlapping that.
2 layers.
So boy, they are play a swimming match here. They are not a cricket match. Oof. Sri Lanka weather and everything. This whole Asia Cup.
Well, the
and-
Ketarama definitely looks like a giant swimming pool at the moment.
Exactly.
Or a skating rink.
Exactly. So, not good news at all. And yet again, infuriatingly, even
We're
in the
this
final-
close to building up to big match start, this, that, and
And it did look sunny, by the
Yeah.
way.
It doesn't look very dark.
Maybe the visuals.
I mean, to be fair, they might have just increased the brightness from the iris. You don't know.
No, but if you look at the stadium, like you could see lighter areas. You know what I mean?
I know, but it's something that you can.
Which is why, see,
much
broadcasters and their fetishness and their rigidness. Oh, 3 to 10 is peak viewership time and all the broadcast times. If you know the weather, why can't you play at 9 to 6? Why? As simple as, see, there you would have finished 80% of your game by this time. 80%. Because 9 or 10 if you start, you would have finished by 1. You would have had the innings break. Now it is 3.
Okay, guys, pretty heavy drizzle now is what I'm hearing.
Hi.
It's pretty heavy drizzle now, yep. That's
And the
why-
sky is not clearing as far as things stand at the moment.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. September, again, Sri Lanka weather strikes. As always. For 3 days, we had perfect weather. India, Sri Lanka was perfect weather. India, Bangladesh was perfect weather. Pakistan, Sri Lanka was perfect weather. Count on the day of the final.
Law of averages, Siddharth.
Yeah, it had to happen. So,
But are they moving covers or is that?
No.
or are they reinforcing it with one more layer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe.
No, they're just adjusting it.
Or no, yeah, they may be draining the waters off.
Yeah, correct.
Because there is a slope at the Ketarama at that side where they'll drain it through. So that's why they are probably
Doing that.
doing that. So
We're looking at a bit of a delay now then anyway. even assuming best case scenario, the rain stops in a bit, you're looking at a bit of a
From
delay.
4:30 onwards, you're not going to see any kind of overs lost. Right?
Until then, you mean?
Yeah, 4:30, 4:45 onwards, you'll have the grace period. After that, you may be losing overs every maybe 6 minutes because it's a final. Maybe you would want to have as much play as possible.
Is it coming off?
No, wait, I think they are again getting the covers.
No,
But how about we come back to you guys when we have a concrete update? We've been building up for over an hour now, and whenever we have the thoughts of Nikhil, whenever we in fact hear from the match officials as well as to what time you're looking at start of play, if there are any revised conditions. Remember, you're not looking at any overs being lost till about the 4:30 mark. You're looking at 90 minutes of a buffer time, after which you start to lose over. So that is 4:30 p.m. IST, after which if you don't have play resume, rather start, then you will look at overs being lost. But until then, guys, do spare us till then. We will join you when we know the playing conditions and when we're looking at start of play. From Shane Dias, Gargi and Siddharth, my dear friend here, we will come back very soon when we have an update. Thank you so much for your company. Always love it, and thank you. Bye-bye.